I was doing this analysis internally yesterday. Like, what is it about Gaza that's so challenging for us to understand and really take care of? Because our army means so much to us. Like, no other country like thinks about sending their army. Like, of course, once you're threatened, you send in your army. That's what they're
Right.
there for.
Right.
For us, we all know soldiers. We all like it's a personal thing. Like the thought is you don't want to go to funerals.
Right.
Like these are your friends' children. These are your friends. So Israel's like, oh, do we really want to send in the army? So like no other country in the world plays that game with like this is why they drafted. Like
Right.
they drafted because we're under threat. It's time
Right.
to send them in. So and again, I'm an Israeli citizen and I still feel inappropriate, saying like, oh, send in the army. Like to be able to say like your friends or
Right.
your
No,
friends' children.
I mean, I knew that, of course, but I never thought of it in that way, in comparison to other countries. Because so true, like nobody wants a land war. Everyone's like, send in the planes. Like we don't want to have to take any, because look at 2014.
Right.
There were a lot of people who died. 2014, but I was thinking of 2005. In 2005, in the Second Lebanon War, I mean, we botched it up, and
Right.
2006, and there were a lot of people who died. A lot of soldiers died on the ground, and
Yeah.
war. Just because Israel has an incredible army, and incredible intelligence, and incredible, everything, Air Force, doesn't mean that people aren't going to die. And like you just said, nobody wants that.
Right. Yeah. So that's definitely, and you feel that here. I mean, I think really over the past day, you're talking about over 700 rockets in one day.
Yeah.
Most of Israel living in bomb shelters, and
No,
that's
my
that's
siblings, my siblings.
right. In all my glory.
Is this your bomb shelter? Is that where we're getting
Yeah.
to?
Yeah. But
Looks
like,
looks gorgeous.
right, it's just concrete. Like, I'm not.
Nope,
Um,
different sound.
no. um,
Wake
and
Kaplan up.
look, I get the amount of text messages I'm getting today. Like, are you okay? I thank God I live in Jerusalem and it's relatively far
I
from.
have to cut you off. To our listeners who are wondering, I did not text Daniel even once. I know a lot of people were wondering. Oh, Rabbi Akiva, did you text Daniel check he's okay? No, I didn't.
Yeah, that was greatly appreciated. Overall, it's a really stressful thing. I'm not gonna lie, because if you don't reply to all these text messages coming in, then people think you're not okay. But I could just be doing something else, or no, of course not. Okay.
Are you a
Uh,
dark humor guy? No, you're not a dark humor guy.
no, no.
You're not going to reply and be like, no, I'm not even going to say that.
Yeah, right,
I,
correct.
I have built up slowly an appreciation for dark humor.
I can't. Nah, I see too much like pain and
Maybe
suffering. I can't get into it.
when you're my age.
Okay.
I used to be like when I was your age. What are you, 20? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm there. Okay. Yeah.
You're in your 20s. I'm in my 30s. So I hated dark humor in my 20s. I don't know. Maybe now.
What changed?
29 was a terrible year. Really sad stuff. So maybe that like as I shifted into 30, you know. Yeah, oh man, I don't know. I really think I was just saying I was just talking with a buddy of mine, Mark Fine, who we've had on our show. We were just
Okay.
minutes ago. And I said that this is, Israel is not allowed from the international world's perspective is not allowed to go and preemptively attack Hamas. We're not allowed to. If
Right.
Israel one day said, "Hey, we've got 20 addresses of terrorist cells, and we're just going to go just attack those 20 with airplanes," no, and we're going to let everyone know to evacuate the area. We're just attacking buildings. Israel cannot do it. We're not allowed to for some reason. This is our time. Just like Hamas decided this is the time, because it doesn't make a difference about the pretext and the city and Al-Aqsa. There's always a pretext. There's always a reason. It's not about the specifics. They decided this is the right time to attack us for, the many reasons that they may have. This is our opportunity, in my humble opinion, for us to also go under the radar and kill off as many terrorists and destroy as many arms silos and as many terrorist cells as we can under the radar. That's what it is. It's an under the radar. This is it. We're already in war. Everyone's okay with it, quote unquote. This is it. 3 days of intense fire, targeted, not civilians, obviously. This is the time. We should not miss this opportunity.
Right. They're doing it. It's
Are they? I don't think they are.
yeah, they are. They are.
No, they're doing a little bit. They're holding back. They're
You're
holding
saying like every potential target just hit
every
him
this,
right now.
every single one.
I
Because
think
what's
that's
going
what
to
they're
happen?
doing.
It's right now. It's a standard war. It's a standard. They shoot a few hundred missiles. We attack. There's a ceasefire. We
No, we're like there's an airstrike in Gaza every 2 minutes now. Like anytime they fire a rocket, mind you, they fired over 700 rockets. Like it's a
no,
lot of
but this
opportunities.
happened. This happened last summer too. Not last summer. Excuse me. 2 summers ago. Also,
Again, it doesn't matter what you do. Like if you kill their commanders, they're gonna get new commanders. If you destroy their rocket silos, they're gonna get new rocket silos.
not if you kill all of them.
How do you do that? You need ground troops for that.
Right. So that's. I mean, I know it's very.
Okay.
My first point. It's very painful to send in ground troops, but at the end of the day, like Israel lives under terror. When we live, you can't. I don't know if can't, shouldn't, whatever, but like you can't and shouldn't have a country have your civilians constantly living under threat. EF show. You can't have a country like that forever.
I'm saying we need to be realistic in the world we live in. So what it would take to the only way you're going to root out Hamas in Gaza is you have to go house to house, building to building in Gaza. You know how many soldiers you're going to lose? I'm not
saying we should do that. I don't know if you. I'm not saying you're going to root out every Hamas affiliate because that's impossible. You also don't know. What are you going to be like? Excuse me, sir. We just wanted to ask you a few questions about.
Yeah, you go searching for weapons. What do you? You can go door to door and do a search.
No. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying the ones we know about. Israel knows about hundreds, if not thousands, of locations.
Okay.
Those locations. That's it. If you, I'm not saying it's going to solve the problem forever, but you're going to harm them enough. You're going to get the upper hand. Where I remember talking. I don't know if I was talking to a soldier or an older person, and I remember him telling me. I remember where this was. That after 1967 or 73, well, I think it was 67. He said you would walk around, if you walked into like the shuk, like the Arab shuk, the marketplace, they would be like, if you were a soldier, like, here, take cookies, take cake, take fish, like they were so, they were scared. They were scared of Israeli soldiers. And now that fear is going away with the upcoming generation. And when that
thing's already gone. It's not even going.
It's already gone. It's complete anarchy. And so I'm not saying you should have fear of your of an army. Like fear itself isn't a good thing, but fear is a great thing if you're a terrorist. If you're a terrorist, we want terrorists to be afraid. So I think Israel needs to show a very strong force in order to bring fear to terrorists and for terrorists not to be so brazen. I don't know what you think about that. I'm curious what you think about that.
I don't know. I think we come from an American perspective where it's like the worst thing that could ever happen to us is us dying. And your average terrorist here does not believe that. Like they think like if only I had the chance to die. Like
did you see the video I sent you on Facebook Messenger?
No.
Okay, so it was on that thought, but so finish your thought, excuse me, and then I want to jump in.
I'm saying, the what we're going to call terrorist culture is extremist culture. So that every fiber of your being is dedicated to this cause, and the best thing that can happen is you dying for your cause. That's how you know you've made the ultimate sacrifice and the ultimate giving of your being to ensure that your cause is being successful. So it's flawed because terrorism has never been effective. Like if anything, it strengthens that which it targets overall. But when we look at terrorists in this country, number one, they get paid very well.
Right.
In the Hamas in particular, right? It's
America, if you're not very good at something, you might go be a teacher. But if you're a Palestinian, you're like, I'm not so really good at. You should be a terrorist. They pay well.
They do. They pay well, and that's not even like let's take it one step further. Hamas is a terrorist organization. Like their schools, every component of their infrastructure is built in to support their terror activities. Right. So like you say, take them out. Are we prepared to bomb a hospital? Because that's where they're firing rockets from.